Hey, that's a pretty nice clean Volvo you got there, Drifts and Lifts. It would be a shame if you bought another one. What's up guys, it's Drifts and Lifts here. All right, so today's episode is gonna be a short one. I just wanted to show you guys my new 740. It's almost like every single video I put out is basically just me showing you guys a new 740. So what we got here is, I'll tell you how I got it. So, you know, you guys, I'm always looking for 740s. I'm always in the market. If there's a good deal, I don't really have a choice. I gotta buy it because if it's a really good deal, I can usually fix it up, either make money off it or keep the car for the future or whatever. I love these cars and I want to be driving them for a long time. So the more I can collect that are in decent shape right now while they're still affordable, the better. So what happened, guys, is actually, if you remember George here, so this black wagon, you'll remember I made, if you saw the video that I made of this car, how I got it and stuff, I actually made a Craigslist ad that was more or less a wanted ad. So it said wanted Volvo 740 1980s, turbo or non-turbo, whatever it is. I just wanted a clean 740 wagon shell with the 80s front end that I could eventually put all the panel wagon parts into. So panel wagon sitting over there on the road there. If you guys look over here, so I live in a townhouse. It's pretty funny because I've lived here for a while, obviously, and look at the oil stains. You can tell this is my place, that's for sure. But yeah, so you know, people they don't love all the modified cars and stuff around here. It's a pretty kind of family neighborhood. There's a lot of grouchy old people around, to be honest. But it's kind of funny, like we have literally, I got my roommate Oliver and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Volvos parked over there on the road. So it's a little bit ridiculous. My truck's over there too, which actually I'll mention a couple things by the end of this video, but let me get to that. So where was I? Yeah, so we got a lot of Volvos and I made a wanted ad. Got this one for a really good deal. This car was 700 bucks. You know, I had to pick it up because $700 running, driving, decent shape turbo wagon in today's market, that's pretty darn good. So I had that same ad up and it's actually been collecting a couple inquiries. I think that's how you say the word. But a couple people have messaged me saying, hey, I got a 740 for you. This guy, his name is Fraser, so shout out to Fraser, sold me this car and he had it sitting for a long time. It was his dad's car and this car actually doesn't run. So I guess he found my ad on Craigslist and he saw that, you know, I was looking for exactly this exact model, 1980s 740 turbo wagon. Well, didn't really matter if it was a turbo, but he gave me a shout. So he sent me an email, said, hey man, I have the car you're looking for. It doesn't run. It's been sitting a long time. You can come and have it for dirt cheap if you want. So I was pretty stoked. And then me and Fraser actually talked on the phone a little bit and I informed him that I had a YouTube channel and that kind of thing. And I dealt with mainly 740s. He didn't even know that, so he was pretty excited. He thought that was pretty cool that he might be able to see the car on the channel one day. So he said, yo, you can come have it for $200. So I said, hey man, that is a sweet deal. You know, it doesn't run. It is very dirty. It's got mold all in the inside. It's definitely a fixer-upper. This car is basically pulled out of more or less pulled out of behind a shed in a bunch of weeds. So yeah, let's get into the car, guys. It is for $200, you really can't go wrong. I can already see a couple things wrong with it in the engine bay here that I haven't really dug into it yet. So I'm just starting. I'm just charging the battery so I can figure out. You know, we can crank it over and see what is the reason it's not starting. So it's a 1989 turbo automatic wagon. So obviously it's not a manual. That would be crazy if I got a turbo manual for $200. But let's check in the interior here. So this car actually only has 230,000 kilometers on it, which is really low, honestly. For a 740, that's not bad. Most of the cars I pick up these days are around the 300 to 400 range, even a little bit higher, some of them 440, 450. But this car is virtually rust free. It's got a tiny little spot under there. I'll show you guys real quick. But it hasn't started to go through yet. So if you can see right there, see how the rust is starting to kind of form underneath the whatever it's called. But so I think I got to this car before the rust was actually able to go underneath the undercoating and, you know, make its way, get the water trapped in between the undercoating and the underbody of the car and start to rust it out. So I got to the car before that could happen. So I'm going to be kind of peeling the undercoating off in places and like spraying it with rust penetration and that kind of thing. But the car is actually really clean. It doesn't have any rust other than that tiny little spot there. I crawled underneath it a bunch and it seems pretty good. So yeah, like I said, it's really moldy. It sat out obviously a couple years and never got really moved. It just sat behind the shed or whatever. So obviously it went through a couple winters, really moist. Obviously there's some, you know, a lot of moisture in here. So mold all over the steering wheel, all over the seat belt. Center console is really gross. It needs a wash. It needs a cleaning. It just sat for so long, right? So here, let's, I think the battery might be decent enough to try starting it right now. Fraser said it doesn't start, so let's give it a go. Okay, so I'm not too sure. It almost seems like this car might have an alarm or something because this red dot's going off and it's making alarm sounds on me. So that might be the reason why it's not starting. But it seems like the battery's still pretty weak, so I'm gonna let it charge for a little while longer. It didn't really last very long on that crank, so I don't really know. Okay, let's check out the car. So as you can see, the paint is actually in really good shape. Here, let's go like, let's wipe some of that away. If you look under there, it still has a pretty shiny gloss white. So I'm pretty excited. Once I do get this car running, I'll put insurance on it and I'll go clean it up. You know, I'll take it around to the wash and that kind of thing. But the funny thing about it is this is a 1989 740 turbo wagon. And that car, the black car George right there, is actually an 89 740 turbo wagon. They both have a little bit of damage on the same spot, and they both have a little damage on the same spot here too. George has a little dent right here. This car's got a little dent right here. The other side is completely clean, just like that one. And yeah, this one's got a little bit of headlight damage on the front. I'll show you guys in a sec. So yeah, it's like the exact same car, just it doesn't run and it was a little bit cheaper. So I'm pretty excited. I think this paint's gonna look really nice. So guys, this is a really tough decision for me because now I have two wagon shells to choose from for kind of the wagon that I want to put all the panel wagon parts into, right? So this one, I'm gonna say it's a little bit cleaner. Obviously not right now, it's dirty right now. But this one's slightly less rusty than the black one. The black one's pretty darn rust free. It's got two little spots, but this one is no actually holes in the floor, whereas the black one does have two spots where it's going through the floor. So this one I haven't been able to actually poke my finger through into the car yet. So part of me is honestly leaning towards this one. I don't really know. It's low kilometers. I mean, things like all the rear end bushings and stuff will be a little better, but you know, I will replace those anyway, so honestly, that stuff doesn't really matter. This thing's got a nice set of taillights on it. So these are, Fraser was telling me they're replaced at one point. So both taillights in pretty good shape. It's got a catalytic converter on it, so you know, those are worth a bit of money. That honestly pays for almost the car right there alone. So let's check out in the rear here. Bro, that door has not been opened in a long time. It crusted open. So yeah, there's just a bunch of junk. Fraser warned me. He said, sorry man, like there's a bunch of shit in there. I have no clue what's in there. So you're gonna have to kind of clean that out. That's no biggie. Hey, there's a jug of, oh, we got some oil, 530, too lightweight for me. I like the thicker stuff. But yeah guys, so this side, you know, obviously covered in moss and mold and stuff, but no dents. There's literally, it's very clean on this side. There's no dents, which is sweet. That black wagon, George right here, yes, it looks clean, but once you get up close, there's actually a lot of small little dents, kind of like where somebody nicked it or whatever. But this car doesn't seem to have those same kind of small dents everywhere, so that's kind of cool. This motor, I'm willing to bet that it runs really clean once we do get it started up. It's at, you know, 230,000 K, really isn't too much for these. But yeah, so that's pretty much the car, guys. I just wanted to show you this car because, you know, I know you guys like looking at all the new 740s that I buy. So what I'm gonna do now is I kind of got to make a decision. As you know, we're in this townhouse. We don't got very much room for storage. We're really using that road over there for like every last bit of storage that we have. So I got to get rid of a car or two. Hey, if you guys are local to me and you're looking for a turbo car to buy, I might have something for you. I have that white sedan over there, and I also have the 940 that I kind of want to sell. So the 940, you guys have seen it. It's a tried and true car. Yes, it's been abused. but I still daily drive it all the time, and it still gets me where it's actually the most reliable car in my fleet. That thing has not let me down yet, I don't think. I just replaced the in-tank fuel pump and the fuel pump under the car, so it should be reliable for a long time. So if you guys, you know, if you're local to me and you want that car, I'm going to be selling it for $1,500. It's tried and true. It's got IPD strut rod bushings. It's got Bilstein shocks in it. It's got a welded 410 rear end. It's got a boost controller. It's got a lot of cool parts on it, honestly. It's a really good performing car. So yeah, if you're interested, you want a turbo Volvo, I'm going to be selling that one. So before I end the video for you guys here, one last thing. I got the Cummins. I know you guys haven't seen many videos of that. I apologize. The channel's been a little bit boring lately. We've been doing some stuff behind the scenes that I'm going to be announcing to you guys in the next month here or so. But we are basically redoing our whole merchandise store. We're going to be ordering shirts ourselves and actually choosing the quality of them and that kind of thing. We're going to be coming out with a bunch of new designs, which is also going to be sweet. And we're going to be making more profit on it. And we're going to be able to do kind of cool things like, you know, if we want to add a sticker in for you guys in the shipment, or if you guys want to send something back to us and that kind of thing. So the Teespring, you know, doing the t-shirts off of Teespring, going through Teespring with YouTube, it just wasn't quite cutting it anymore. The profit wasn't good enough, as well as they took all my designs down due to copyright issues. So we're going to be dealing with that, and I promise you guys we'll have merch coming out sooner than later. We're really trying to work on that right now, so just bear with me for a bit. But yeah, the truck, like I said, so a little thing actually that I want to do. You guys see I got this stack on the ground here. So this is an 8-inch stack. It's from a semi truck, and I got a couple 5-inch bends here. I got 4 of them. I also got a 6-inch pipe right there. But if you guys know, the truck has a stack on it, right? So it comes out the back, right behind the cab. I'm kind of over that. It's been fine and I don't mind it. Like I'm willing to put up with like noisy vehicles a lot more than other people are, some other people. But the only thing that I don't really like is the fumes. So when I roll down the window and I'm driving down the road, I can smell a lot of diesel. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. I don't want to get cancer when I'm young. So I'm going to be taking the exhaust and putting it out the back. So we're going to go over the axle, and I'm actually going to cut a 8-inch, essentially like a half moon, into the roll pan, and we're gonna tuck this 8-inch pipe up in there. So that'll be something cool coming for the channel, guys. We won't do that today, obviously, but I'm just waiting on my buddy to book me in for his shop so he can weld it up for me. I don't have a welder in here. So that's gonna be cool. And then I really wanna film some more drifting with that truck up the toge. I wanna do a burnouts for distance video. So like literally get him cooking in 4th gear, get it all the way up to red line, and just see how long we can go for a burnout. I think that'll be cool. If you guys have suggestions, I understand the channel's been a little bit slow lately and I apologize. Yeah, we're just kind of piecing things together. I'm actually waiting for a tune because I installed the new turbo on the panel wagon. So I'm actually waiting for a tune at Post Haste Performance. Dan, shout out to Dan at Post Haste Performance. He's gonna freshen up the tune for me because we put that new turbo on with the billet wheel and the different oiling setup. I want him to go over it because if I'm gonna be abusing the car and like shit kicking it, I don't want to, you know, I don't want any issues with the tune and to blow up another red block and that kind of thing. So anyways, guys, sorry for the boring video. Figured I'd just show you this car, and that's pretty much a wrap up. So stay tuned though. I promise you guys, lots of entertaining stuff coming for the channel, and yeah. Like and subscribe for